All right, good morning, everybody. Back for another day, the last day of May. Had my first red day in 3 months yesterday, so gonna try and recover that. Can I make my loss back from yesterday and end the month strong? Let's go ahead and find out today. Let's go. Let's trade. Okay, so first trade today was right here out of the opening gates. Basically, it was LL. I'd been watching this one since pre-market here, and I was watching it, seeing if we can make a move up through the 530s here. You can see it's made a move off of $5. So that's a pretty big move for a $5 stock. So watching LL, see if it can get up above 530. There, it's above 530. Watching it for a second, I was like, oh, it's still pushing. I can try and get higher. Try and go for 535. I go ahead and get started with a short here of 300 shares on LL at 535. So in here at 535, thinking this can really possibly easy come back down to like the $5 level without really trying is kind of what I was thinking and hoping for. But, I'm going to piece it out along the way. That's always the plan. So if it starts coming back down, I'll start looking to piece this one out. And it is starting to come back down a little bit here. Maybe not as strong as a move on the pullback here as I would have liked to see. So started thinking about it. I was like, okay, maybe if we get like 525, I can go ahead and just take 100 of them off and just slowly piece this one out since I do have 300 shares to work with. So there's under 525. I'm giving it a second, but then I go ahead and put my order out here. I put it out at 524 just to see if I could get a little bit more than that 10 cents and see what it wants to do here. So I'm sitting there on the bid with those 100 shares at 524. There I get the fill. So I'm out the first 100 of my 300 shares. I've still got 200 shares left here in LL and gonna go ahead and see what that can do. Like I said, I was hoping to get this thing back down towards 5, but what I wanted to do was make a nice big secondary push. So I go ahead and add in 200 more shares. So basically doubling what I now have as a position. So it's almost like this is a brand new trade that I started originally with 200 shares instead of that 300 share position starter. But I'm in 400 shares short here at 539. Watching it here, looking for it to come down. There's 530s. I go ahead and click the button and take 200 of my shares off. So I'm back down to that 200 shares that I had, still getting the fills below both entries there. So that's always what I'm looking for. And then looking to see if I can maybe piece this other 200 shares out as it comes down, hopefully now down towards 5. Here it's coming down a little bit more. I decided to take another 100 shares off here just because the chart's really looking kind of strange and I'm not sure what it's going to do. So I take another 100 shares off there and I'm thinking about setting a stop here just basically around the break even mark here with the other 100 shares. So I do put that stop out there just around a break even a couple cents before. And then it shoots up and it gets me a really bad slippage fill there. It actually gets me to a loss of like a cent or two on that last 100 shares. So kind of a not clean trade, not didn't do exactly what I wanted, but hey, at least back into the green after the red day yesterday. So later on, it's INTC making a huge move here. I go ahead and get short 100 shares at 31.91, just front running this $32 hold number a little bit because you can see there's now a point move here in less than a minute on this INTC, and that's also after it's also already made, also made English a point move previous to that over the last 4 or 5 minutes. So this is a pretty good spot, I think, to get in. It starts coming back down into the 3150s there. I go ahead and take half my shares off there. Looking to see if I can piece this thing out along the way. I only took 100 shares on this one because I saw a bunch of semiconductor stuff moving, so I wasn't exactly sure what was going on. I wanted to take it a little bit cautiously. But it comes back down into the 3130s. Go ahead and take another half off here. I know it's only 25 shares, but I was thinking this thing could really come back down towards VWAP under 3070. So I at least wanted to leave a few shares on to let it try and get down there if it was going to make that move. I didn't want to completely miss, the huge pullback if it was going to make that move. So I've got 25 shares left there. And this is where I did something that you guys don't see me do really too often. I was watching it here as it pushed back up, and it, for whatever reason, my brain was like, this kind of looks like a double top situation here. So I'm going to go ahead and try and get back into my original position here. So I get the 25 shares in that I took off just a minute ago, get those in the 3170s. Now I'm going to be looking for, if it pushes up through 32, I'll get the other 50 shares in that I had taken off previously and basically be back to where I started, but already green on the trade. So that was kind of what I was thinking here, seeing if it can do this kind of like fake pop through the highs at 32. So that's really the idea here on the secondary move. So there's the move through 32. I go ahead and get in 50 more shares. So now I'm short 100 shares again. This time the average is a little bit higher, 31.95, but basically the exact same trade, but I'm already green on it. So can't really complain about that when you're already green and you get a chance to get your shares back in. But this thing didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. So as it comes back down in the 3170s, I go ahead and take half off there. Was really hoping for a nice big flush off of the double top here. It was just giving me kind of a slow pullback here. So didn't want to mess with it too much. And then, as it kept holding up here, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to take this one off and call it a trade here. It's not really doing what I was looking for on this double top move. So I go ahead and take the whole thing off right there. And just like LL didn't quite work out how I was hoping it would, but still made some money on it, up almost $50 here on this trade on INTC. Move on to something else, which ended up being GFAI. And I really didn't want to trade this one because the daily is just so bad, but I made a nice move. So I decided to just take it real small here with 100 shares on a $6 stock in at 626, not looking for anything big here on the pullback at all. Just looking to see if I can add a little bit of money to the day. So I was like, you know what? If I can take 10 cents here and take another $10 bill within a minute, whatever, I'll be happy with it. At least I got to do another trade, satisfy that trading itch a little bit. That's always a big thing. So there it is. It gets me the fill down at 616 and a little $10 bill there on the GFAI trade. And, not a whole lot. But finally, it's NEPH, and I was watching this one pretty much all morning since that original big green candle you can see on the left side of the chart. And I was like, okay, if we would get a nice push up here through 180, I could potentially take some good share size on this one, some decent share size at least, because I looked at the daily chart. The range of it wasn't scary at all. So I was like, I can really try and size into this one if we make that move up through the 180s. I watch it get up through 180 here. I go ahead and decide to just put my 500 shares out at 185. It does shoot up and get me the fill there for those 500 shares short at 185. So happy about that. And just like the previous trade on GFAI, if this thing wants to give me a 10-cent pullback with the 50 shares, I'll be more than happy to take it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my order out at 175 with all 500 of the shares. Just looking to take this nice quick little move here on NEPH and probably close out the day as it turned out to be. But yeah, so here it's going to come down, get me the fill here at 175. I'm out for a quick $50 there and up 143 on the day now. This thing actually, right after this, shot up into the 190s. I almost clicked it. I wanted 195, and then it immediately after dumped all the way back down to 150. So I really missed the real big, nice move on NEPH. But hey, at least I got an extra 50 bucks out of it and can close my day out there happy with plus 143. So that's going to do it for my day. That's going to do it for the month of May, which I'm pretty sure that is going to officially lock in my best month of the year so far. We will do the monthly recap at some point, maybe when I don't have a trading day. I think I got all trading days next week. Maybe not. I'll have to look, but we'll figure it out when I put out the video on the monthly recap for May. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit like and subscribe. See you later.